Hi everyone, so a little painting update video and kind of general vlog, I guess. Yeah, working on these Hajdúks. I did this unit blue and black. I posted the video of just the first stand of these guys already, but last couple days I managed to get more of them done, and I just have one more stand to do, so it's almost done. But I mean, with 3 bases, I consider it a playable unit, and I'm getting the box set of the Transylvanian box set finished. Just have to finish this stand, and then I've got the dismounted Hajdúks, which I'll probably paint the same with the black and blue. I think it's a pretty good color scheme for them. And these guys are pretty nice because you can give them some variety with like different pelts that they wear for their cloaks. I was wondering about that. I did a stream the other day if maybe this was kind of a way that they could camouflage themselves. You know, because I would imagine that the fur cloak would like break up an outline. Because one of the Ottoman sources I was researching and working with had mentioned that the Hajdúks spring an ambush basically, and then uses that terminology of you know, to spring an ambush. That's a term in Ottoman Turkish, set term. So I wonder, but yeah, it gets into like, is it like the guys that looked like this, or it could just be regular, you know, Habsburg soldiers? Because Hajdú in Turkish, Ottoman Turkish, means just like a bandit, basically. Anyway, it's kind of technical, but interesting to think about, I guess, for someone like me. And then got to do the Transylvanian command unit, which is just pretty easy. Just a drummer, got the standard bearer, and then the hetman or the commander. Could be a voivode if you wanted to, the prince. So yeah, and then I've got, for the Transylvanians, I got one more unit to do. I've got to do some mounted handgunners, and then I can get started on the Tatars once I get all those done. And the good thing about the mounted handgunners is they're supposed to be secklers, and the depictions of secklers tend to show them wearing red pretty consistently, which is nice. So I can just kind of pick a shade of red, and I think I'll just do that, red and maybe like green or yellow. This Vallejo Desert Yellow is pretty versatile if you want like a neutral kind of uniform color. And then the Tatars, was thinking about what I want to paint them, because I think a lot of times they're depicted in some media as like wearing mostly brown, and kind of like the way Mongols are. But a lot of the depictions I was looking at for like more, well, at least one painting of like a Central Asian beg, Turkic lord. He was wearing a yellowish color like that, so I thought that would probably be good then if that's kind of what they were wearing. So I think I'll do, like this kind of yellow and like dark red, and maybe some blues will be good on the Tatars. Yeah, I painted, just wanted to show these guys, because I painted one unit of the Tatars with spears already. I got a loose, just a single pack when I was last time I was over in Poland. So I already was able to practice painting some of them, and then do have other stuff to do. I have a bunch of Coruscant figures that I ordered several months ago now, but I just haven't been able to get to because I needed to order more bases from Litco, and they're at my current kind of budget level, they're a little pricey. But I've got more Polish infantry that I got that are with the Bardich axes. These don't really fit as far as I know with the kind of Hotin War period, but I ordered these just because they look cool, and um, I can use them for like later periods. And then if I just want to throw in an extra infantry regiment for my campaign game, I will. I'll use these guys. And then I've got, this is another one that wasn't really present in the Hotin War, but I got just to have, as an additional unit for another scenario. I got some of these late 16th century musketeers from Khorasan. These are supposed to be Malta, Knights of Malta musketeers. So, but I can use these. You can use these as sort of general late 16th century and infantry. Yeah. I mean, really, you could. This is like the kind of style that they had up until kind of the beginning of the 30 Years' War, almost. Because if you look at like pictures of John Smith, the Virginia Company explorer, like he's kind of dressed like this in 1607. And if you look at pictures of, you can find images of soldiers that were fighting in the Long Turkish War at the beginning of the 17th century. They were dressed like that still. And then I do have the commands that my wife got for my birthday that I still have to work on. So I got plenty to do, but like I said, I need to buy more of the wooden Litco bases for these guys because I don't have extras. So yeah, I've got the other command that I got for my birthday was the Sultan and his retinue from Khorasan. So that was nice. Yeah, that's kind of what I've got going on project-wise. Yeah, I've kind of slowed down painting because I'm working this job, so that takes up time, and then I'm working on like a couple articles like for academic journals, and that's like, this is how like the historical research sausage is made. So like, you write your article and then you send it to the editor, and then the editor will make comments, and some of those will be useful and others will be not so useful, and then you got to kind of like not argue with the editor, but you have to like kind of explain why you wrote it that way, and kind of defend yourself a little bit, if you need to do that. It's not always like that, but and then for my article, I have to go in one of them. I have to go and like reread this whole part of this whole manuscript and like retranslate a bunch of it. So that's taking up a lot of time, which is good. I mean, it's kind of good. I mean, in a way, but it's like all at once. How things can pile up in life. So it's just time is valuable, and then doing that stuff also takes a lot of mental energy. I mean, it's a lot of people will make fun of me for saying that it's tiring, but it is. I mean, you got to sit and like do all the translation, and it takes a lot of thinking, and you have to. It's not just like about looking up the words in the dictionary. You have to think about, trying to get the same meaning across in English as it's trying to say in the original language. So it's it's a lot to do. I mean, the end result is worth it, but it's it's hard work to get there. And then I do all this stuff, and then that's not even like going through the peer review process, which I think is good generally. I think the idea of it is actually good, but you never know it's anonymous on purpose, and it's like you never know who is reviewing it, and Like I had another thing I worked on, and like the peer reviewer just didn't even understand what the source I was looking at said, and gave me a really bad review. So I had to like go back to the editor, and anyway, this is how it works. This is how these articles get published, and you don't get paid for this. It's just like to put it on your CV, basically. But you have to do it if you want to be a historian. So that's how it works. Which is not a great system, but it is what it is. So anyway, the point is it takes up a lot of time from doing hobby stuff, and it also makes me realize it's really hard to do historical research and work like a full-time job at the same time. It's really tough. There are people that can do it, but I think also the kind of material I work with makes it harder compared to if I was studying like I don't say this to belittle people, people that work on like 19th century history, or like American Revolution or something like that, where you got the documents have been published, they're like right there, or they're easy to look at and read. You don't have to do any like big translation work, because you just read them. But for the kind of stuff I work on, it's a little trickier to balance the work and the research. But hopefully that's ending. Well, that is ending soon. My hectic work schedule. So be moving on to better things very soon. Yeah, and then I guess the last thing is thinking about, because I made the video doing the Sasanians, and now I'm like conflicted because a couple months ago, I was on the Tibetan Empire kick, and I still want to do that, but it might work. I mean, the Sasanians never like fought the Tibetans, but it is kind of the same general period of like the 7th to, I mean, that would be like the very end of the Sasanians, so it's not quite the same period, but kind of the late antiquity period. It's like 500 to 800 or something. Just to give a rough range, or maybe 476, like when Rome is sacked. The city of Rome is sacked. To about 800, I guess. But so yeah, I mean, I think I'll have to think about that more, because the other thing too is I have a lot of I might want to do some more Cossacks for this project, because I think I do need more, because I only have like one Cossack unit and like some skirmishers, and then I've got the wagons. So I think I may want to build out the Cossacks a little bit more. And then that leads me for my Khotin War project into like thinking about how big of a table I would really need to play this, because I set up the Setsora battle one day on my table, with the historic deployment as best as I could simulate, and it was pretty cramped, but the table isn't that big. I think it's only probably like a 4x3, maybe a little bigger than that. So that's like kind of an issue. But I think even with the amount of figures I have painted ready to go right now, I still need a bigger table. And I think even on a 6x4 it might get crowded, even with 15mm. So I'll have to see what I need to do, if I can get access to a bigger table somewhere, and just set it up just to see what I need to do, and all that. But yeah, if I do Cossacks, I mean, that wouldn't necessarily preclude me from starting on doing some Sasanians. I still haven't decided what scale I want to do those in yet. I might probably going to do 15s just because of space constraints and cost, because I was looking at the Armorium and Aquilum Sasanians, which look really good, but they're really expensive. I think it's like £9 for a 3-pack of cavalry. So, you know, if I do 9 cavalry figures per unit in 28mm, I mean, that's going to be a considerable amount of money just for a single unit. So I'm still thinking about that. And then, you know, like I said, I could just go with my original next project idea and do Tibetans and Tang Chinese, which would be pretty weird, you know, but that's what we do here at Corvinus Wargaming. It's always something weird, I guess. Yeah, all right. It's kind of a long video, but maybe you found that interesting. Yeah, hopefully I can get more painted up. Maybe I'll do another stream soon at the time of this recording. Last few we've had people hanging out, so that's been fun, and it's always good to have people in the chat to go back and forth with, and seeing what other people are working on. So, all right, well, this has been kind of a long stream of consciousness video, but yeah, these are the Hajdúks. Just one last quick, if you made it to the end, just one last quick look. And should get these guys finished up, the mounted ones, then I can start on the dismounted ones and all the rest of the things. And then when I do get all the Transylvanians painted, I will make just a Transylvanian army showcase and talk about them a little bit. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you in the next one.